Polkadot is on the verge of breaking out. Breaking out of what, you may be asking yourselves? Well, in this video, we are going to be recapping on the price prediction and technical roadmap that we set out for Polkadot around about 2 months ago. And since we set that price prediction and technical roadmap out, it has been followed beautifully, and we are approaching a key level of significance that, when taken, may see Polkadot in a short succession of time go all the way to $26. And we think that could just be the start of what's to come. So we're going to be recapping on that price prediction to start the video off. We are entering a very interesting time for Polkadot as a project, as we are doing away with this kind of parachain lease model and moving to a more agile core time model, where core time will be bought and sold for DOT. I believe this is going to increase the demand for Polkadot massively. I think right now Polkadot in some areas lacks actual demand drivers for the underlying token. However, with this move that we are seeing or on currently progressing with to kind of core time and block space, I do think the demand for Polkadot is going to go through the roof. And there's also lots of burn mechanisms currently taking place, which we've spoken about in previous videos. So we are in a very interesting time. What I want to do kind of in the second half of the video is talk to you guys about the possibilities of a Polkadot ETF. Now, this sounds crazy to some. It seems very far-fetched, but I'm going to be showing you why actually this isn't far-fetched, as we already see some of the largest offerers in the United States of a Bitcoin spot ETF actually offer around the rest of the world Polkadot related products or derivatives in the form of ETPs, exchange traded products. So we're going to be taking a look at that in the second half of the video. But to start the video, as promised, I want to kind of recap on the price prediction that we gave for Polkadot, and let's go ahead and bring it up. Now, this video was released 2 months ago, and this was essentially what we were looking at for Polkadot in 2024. We think Polkadot stands a damn good chance of getting to around about $26. And actually, this could just be the start. It could set up a broader head and shoulders, just like what Bitcoin's doing. And if you guys are familiar with my daily market updates, you'll know just how accurate we've got Bitcoin and a lot of other markets identifying this exact pattern. So this was the technical roadmap that we were setting out for Polkadot. We were looking at the formation or the potential for the formation of that right shoulder. There were levels that we didn't want to see run. And since then, to dive over to the charts, Polkadot has progressed beautifully, if I do say so myself, rather modestly. You know, you can see this is where you were on the video, and since then you can see this nice rounding. You can see buyers coming in here on this wick, kind of compliant. I mean, it was very close. You almost ran this left shoulder. You can see buyers coming in here, pushing it up the other way, really hammering it out. And since then, you've started to progress to what we're calling a neckline. This needs to be taken on volume. It's very interesting because a lot of the blue caps are kind of in this position at the moment. If we look at Cardano, it has actually broken out of the same pattern that we are identifying today for Polkadot. We can show you a million and one examples of this double bottom. You can see Cardano has actually gone on and broken. This is to come for Polkadot. Lots of examples out there. You know, we can use Chainlink, which has been a real success story for us. We're looking at this break here now for Polkadot, potential retest, and then continuation. Doesn't just apply to the crypto market. We can also see this in regards to the stock market. Have to be honest, and it is being honest, Polkadot has been an underperformer in regards to the rest of my portfolio. It is a position of mine. We're certainly in the money on, but not to the degree that we are with many of our other investments. And that does warrant a number of questions that we will be answering. I've already sort of asked and answered them in the Patreon, and we've made adjustments accordingly. But to focus on the task at hand and the video at hand, you know, let's cover Polkadot and where it's currently at. You know, this is likely going to get breaking this neckline, and then we do have a target for that $26 mark. That's also going to coincide with some pretty interesting resistance that hopefully we react at, just like we were predicting. And then you're going to see a broader upside, just like what we've seen for Bitcoin, with a broader head and shoulders then in place. And we can predict some crazy numbers off of that, but let's just focus on getting to $26, which we think is achievable this year alone. It may indeed go higher. This isn't a max price prediction. To show you an example of something that we were given a prediction for and went on higher, we'll use something like Microsoft, which was a real star for us back in 2023. You can see it hit its target and then actually went on to higher ground. So Polkadot could be on a bit of a similar trajectory as this in regards to the price prediction and getting smashed. So this is where we're at. We're waiting for the break of this key level of significance. I do think it's on the table. We are getting positive feedback for the market thus far, and ultimately we'll see if the broader pattern that we could be looking at plays out. But where we're sat right now, we do think Polkadot, and we're sticking our neck on the line here, is going to $26 in 2024. This aligns with the rest of the market. It aligns with things like others dominance, which tracks the cryptocurrencies outside the top 10, which we think is going to go up to around about 20% in regards to overall market size, which means Bitcoin dominance is going to have to give up ground at a time when Bitcoin dominance looks like it's likely to do that, in our opinion. And remember, all this stuff is our opinion. That's Bitcoin against the stock market. Let's find Bitcoin dominance. We think Bitcoin's going to top here and roll over in a similar fashion to what it's done previously. We've got things like ETH BTC, which is perfectly brought up because we are likely going to get an Ethereum ETF this year, in my opinion. And the star of the show right now is Bitcoin, really due to the ETFs, really due to the halvenings. But there is going to be a shift to altcoins. And I want to talk to you guys about the possibility of an altcoin ETF. So just to finish on ETH BTC, Ethereum going up against Bitcoin is only going to happen when Bitcoin's going up, but Ethereum's gaining ground, which means Bitcoin dominance is going to be losing, means others dominance is going to be going up. Polkadot is likely going to appreciate from that. Kind of secondary factors to the actual price action that we're seeing for Polkadot, which in my opinion suggests a breakout is coming very soon, and we are going to be well and truly on our way to that $26. But that's enough on the price action. Let's talk about the prospects of a Polkadot ETF, which seems strange to some. Now, Polkadot's one of the only altcoins in the sort of top 25 that hasn't been mentioned in any of the lawsuits. And I do think that Polkadot has been classified, or there's been a lot more regulatory clarity on Polkadot in certain jurisdictions as being called a non-security in software. So this could be why. But I think Polkadot is likely going to have its own ETF. And why do I think that? So I think Ethereum's going to have an ETF. Once Ethereum's got an ETF, it's kind of, got the rest of us through the door. Yes, there's going to be similar process to what we see with the Bitcoin ETF. They have the likes of BlackRock and everyone already filed for an Ethereum spot ETF. That's likely going to get approved, and then you'll see filings for top 10 crypto index funds like we see with Bitwise and many others. And if we focus on Bitwise's BITW, remember Bitwise is one of the largest spot ETF facilitators for Bitcoin in the UK. You can see their top 10 fund has within it Polkadot. It's not just them. If we dive over to WisdomTree, they offer a .w project, which is WisdomTree's physically backed Polkadot. Now, this, of course, doesn't trade in the US, but it does trade across the board. And remember, Bitwise is also a Bitcoin spot ETF offerer. So once there's regulatory clarity, they're likely going to mimic this project in the United States under regulatory certainty. It's not just Bitwise, WisdomTree, but also VanEck. And on top of that, we also see 21 Shares, which is ARK's investment. And they also offer a product. So this is why I think there is going to be a Polkadot ETF. I think the fact that we see some of the largest facilitators of a Bitcoin spot ETF also offer Polkadot products abroad is interesting. Also, if you look at Grayscale's Trust, I think they have Polkadot in there, I believe. I haven't actually checked that one. I probably should have before I jumped on here. And if you look at the chart of 21 Shares is a dot. You can see this is a bullish looking chart. Look at the volume you're getting in here. So I do think, providing the demand stays up, providing Polkadot maintains its position, I think you've got all the fundamental reason to expect that. I think you've also got the technical merit to expect Polkadot to do quite well. I mean, this would be a 190% increase from where it currently is, slightly over that. I've clicked that. But this is the direction I think things are going. And I think when you look at secondary things like the likelihood of a Polkadot ETF eventually, that looks likely. I think it's really interesting where Polkadot's currently at in regards to moving towards this agile kind of core time. If you think about Polkadot, you think about it as a computer. The power chains are kind of the cores in a computer. Right now, I think there's 52 of them. We are moving to a world actually where we're going to end up with potentially 500 to 1,000 cores. It's going to make Polkadot simply the most scalable blockchain. It's going to make it superior in many ways. In terms of Polkadot's ecosystem at the moment, we've only covered a very small amount of it. We've got lots of interviews lined up for you guys if you are Polkadot fans, of people building within the Polkadot space. Some really great projects. We've covered things like Peak Network, some of the deep in plays. There's a hell of a lot going on. You've got all your traditional DeFi. You've got everything in the Polkadot ecosystem. It's a massively slept on project and ecosystem that I think could do very well. It literally offers absolutely everything. So that's all we've really got for you guys. It was to sort of update you on our price prediction. If you look at what we were predicting, if you look at where we are, we do expect continuation of this. We are waiting for that key break. This is a pattern we've had huge success for. It is likely coming. It's likely coming this year, in my opinion. And, you know, we just wanted to throw our 2 cents in, or our thoughts in regards to this world that we're moving towards, where we do have spot altcoin ETFs. Polkadot, given the sort of products that are already out there, I don't think is going to miss out on that. Guys, that's really all I've got for you guys and girls. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. If you've enjoyed the content, like us, appreciate it as a comment. Don't forget to become a subscriber for more updates just like this one. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you in the next.